Hello everybody and welcome to part 27 of my Desert China series. War is underway. We're about to capture the last Incan city we have an interest in. There is something that I want to address though before we get into the action. In the capital I had chosen the project of Manhattan Project, and there's just not an immediate need for this. Not only are we coming up through biology to find the oil first, but even if we were going straight for nuclear or for the atomic bomb, we have time, is what I'm getting at. So there's other things that we would want to be doing here. Another artillery would be nice. Musicians Guild. If we were going to do the artillery, we should have already done it, so maybe I get by with that. I was kind of looking at the map trying to figure out which direction to go and stuff. So, yeah. But anyways, for now, let's take that off and go for the Musicians Guild here. I'm not really ready to be pulling people off the land here, but we can always pull them out of these slots here. In fact, it could be argued that we should be working this food slot ahead of these, but, you know. Anyways, so Musician Guild it is, and then we pass our turn. Got all our artillery here. This turn we should be able to get them into position to actually be able to fire onto Rio. I'm also noticing that my overall calculations have been off. If you look at some of our declarations of friendships, we're like doing that whole
The winds and the waves are always
the 50 turns. 50 turns is a huge commitment, and the later you get in the game, like I wasn't expecting to be able to just, you know, blow out like this. Beijing demands gems just in time. We are going to be conquering some gems very soon. Looks like we finished the Musicians Guild in one turn. It said two, I thought. And we also grew this turn. So let's just do this real quick. That brings us down to 5. Would that have worked if we had done this as well? No, it's not. So what we'll do is we'll do this like we discussed, and then do that so that we grow quicker and we can repopulate those slots as soon as possible, because that's science and, you know, happiness and food and yada yada. Alright, so I was not expecting that to be done in one turn, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, for sure. It's funny that walls is an option, but we already have castle because of Alhambra. So, yeah, that plus Neuschwanstein. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I wasn't prepared. Because basically, we're going to be researching on our way to biology. Oh, wow, just one turn until archaeology finishes up. Because we're going to want to start spitting out archaeologists. It'll be a quick fix to our tourism issue. There's not much I could have done better about that, except for maybe using the artists to do works and maybe getting onto the guilds sooner. I guess that's a downside to a Petra city. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe in this city, if I had actually been working full growth rather than, you know, always working this tile, maybe we would have been able to fit in a guild there earlier. I don't know. Artillery would take 2 turns. I mean, that's okay if we don't finish it, right? Because we can... the thing is our military is so pronounced that I don't know if having more units is necessarily going to be beneficial. I mean, we are expanding our borders in multiple directions, but like we'll take... Well... If Ragus is going to soften up Fort Elites, we might as well take it. That way we can burn it down. So we're going to take these 3 cities, right? Maybe Salvador, so we can push into them. Their lands aren't particularly great, and they're a little off the beaten path, and they're not much of a threat. I'm looking at more like Rome and the Iroquois. The Iroquois, though, I was looking at this off camera. Right now, they are very well liked, as you can see here. So tangling with them might not be so good. Rome, on the other hand, I didn't bother looking at Rome. Let's take them off and check out Rome. Also somewhat fairly well liked, but the thing is Rome is the one that's giving us the unhappiness by having a competing ideology. If we come here, we can see that. And their tourism is on par with ours. In fact, they're doing a little bit better right now. So I have to think that taking their city will be able to capture some great works, take their tourism, you know. If there are cities, I don't know, something like that. So I'd really like to be able to have a shot at them, and taking Sao Paulo makes that possible. In fact, if we also take Salvador, well, I guess we don't need Salvador. It would be easy to take, though, so that's something. After Sao Paulo, you know, do Rio, then Sao Paulo, then on to Salvador. This Ragusa is going to do most of the work. And in fact, if you look at his military right now, we should be able to instill our 3 artillery into positions that can fire on Rio. And if we move this one here, we can actually throw in a shot or 2 onto Fortaleza. So as Ragusa is softening it up, maybe one of our mounted units here just captures it so we can burn it to the ground and rid ourselves of this great engineer here. That sounds like a plan to me. So, yeah. Maybe artillery is the way to go then. Because if we're going to be throwing shots over here and trying this city and this city. Because once it comes time for Rome, we probably will mount Mediolanum, Antium, and Rome. And then maybe take Cumae, so that if we push into Poland, we can. Poland's actually shaping up to be something good of an ally, though, so I'm not sure how much I feel like going that route. Alright, we already addressed that. So, yeah, for now, let's just do artillery. We can change our mind next turn. Alternatively, we could finish pre-building the Manhattan Project. Declaration of Friendship with India. I mean, they're so far away, there's no harm in that whatsoever. The only downside to this, I think, would be we're that much less favorable in the Aztecs' eyes, but... Okay. Aztec coup in Valletta failed. Alright. Coup. I know it's not coup. Manila has declared war on Gandhi. Manila has declared war on Casimir. Why? Manila has declared war on Augustus Caesar. Why? Lhasa wants Taoism. Manila and the Aztecs now allies. Okay, that would be why. Losing grasp on Manila. I mean, I can pay just to get them off our friends' back. But I was noticing that too. We do have a lot of money. I was thinking, since we do have a social policy coming up, maybe it would be worthwhile to take philanthropy and then use this money to like pull any city-state that's got an ally that's not us that we can. So that's a thought that I had in my head. I think I'm just going to have this guy clean up this triangle. Yeah, we don't need perfect visibility. We can see there's not going to be anything there, so maybe like one and then head back or something. This guy, we need to figure out where we want him. We can kind of see enough around here to know there's no land mass. And if our other guy's cleaning up this triangle, maybe he heads to the south. So this guy really should continue to plan on scouting the north. If we hop in the water here, I mean, that would have been... The last turn would have been the time to do that. Because 1, 2, 3, I mean, we can just move faster in the water. So, yeah, let's... Last turn would have been the time to do that. I should have done it that way. Alright, this is Foreign Legion. Also, the other thing I'm noticing here is he doesn't seem to have much in the way of units. So... Alright, we want this guy to come here. Okay. Because he can shoot at this. Because we just need blockers to get out. And I realize that Gatling gun's not the best blocker, but if we do something like this, now he can actually support. Well, actually, let's just do this, because I don't want to be in the bombard. Oh, you know what? It probably would have been safer to be in the bombard range of Fortaleza than of Rio. Okay. No worries. Mostly what I was trying to do is make sure this can safely go here. And then as far as these two artillery, I'm thinking maybe here and here, because then they could both reach Rio, and the one here can also service over here a little bit. We'd want them to focus on Rio. So, this guy should just be able to one-shot him, right? Yep. Okay, so do it. There's that. And now this guy can move here. Great General moves in. Everybody's covered now. And then move him there. As far as I'm concerned, Rio is fairly well covered here. Let us move our Great General here. And that means this should be a one-shot, right? No, not quite. That's fine. We can soften him up there and then finish him off there. Him. He's infantry. What are you? You're Foreign Legion. So let's have the Foreign Legion heal up for a turn because he can. Is that advantageous? I think so. And then we'll have this infantry actually start heading back to the west coast. Or not. There will come a point where we want to start having them head off to the west because we're naked in the west. I mean, we got these units over here. In fact, I kind of forgot about that when I was plotting all my points here, or making all my decisions. So we'll just set up. All right, so we can fire on Rio. Rio, easy peasy. Okay. And we also need to get workers penetrating down here so we can get started on the uranium. And of course repair any tiles that we pillage that are actually worth keeping. 1, 2, 3 for pillage. Hit this, soften it up. And then he can like backtrack out of here. I don't know. Maybe step in, pillage, push through. That seems a little bit better. But now this Great General's is exposed, so let's do that to finish that up. And I agree with healing him up for now. So these workers, one can cross the river down here, one can kind of scoot down and start working. Alright. I'm starting to feel better about that, all that now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let's go ahead and use the damaged one to capture. Raise. Hey, we inherited a great work. That's fantastic to see. Let me address that now before I even forget. Okay, where would we put it? Nanjing is the border city, so let's do that. Okay, we need to start selling. So let's see, 40 and 2, that's pretty good. 30 and 2, 50 and 1, that'll be worth 30 and 1. Alright, so 40 and 2 is the best because we want GPT, the highest GPT first and then the highest gold next. So here's something I was thinking. Actually, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and make peace because I want to get an eye on what will end this conflict. Vilcabamba and Enda Huaylas. It's these two cities, okay. You know, I was kind of hoping to see something like that. Because now what we can do is we can take our great profit up here, convert Buenos Aires, burn these to the ground. This is burning to the ground too. Come back down, reconvert Cusco, and use the last two great profit over here. And we'll have Buddhism relatively neutralized in the West. I mean, it still has. It's that itinerant preachers. I've never been in a situation like this before where itinerant preachers was so much more effective than religious texts. So yeah, let's have him come all the way up here. He can convert Buenos Aires. Luckily, that musket man seems to have cleared out some of these spaces. This city's gone. So I just want to make sure we're selling off buildings every turn. So yeah, let's go ahead and take those cities from them. What's our happy limit? It's like 10. We can buy our way out of it if that turns out to be a problem. Negotiate peace. What will end this conflict? Accept. Now let's
Ay,
do
año.
embassies. Looks like he wants iron.
Ajipacha.
3 for 2 is the best we can hope for. There we go.
Shina Mari.
So we'll raise this city, and we'll raise that city. Shrine sold, and that was in Vilcabamba. Yes, and then in Andahuaylas, we'll sell that shrine. And we are in unhappiness, so let us address that. If this worker had been able to get to this tile and start repairing it this turn, we would have had it. Our options are we can buy a city-state, or we can trade with somebody. Actually, you know what? Yeah, somebody had said they wanted silk. So let's buy silk. Nine it is. Okay, so now we're in positive happiness. And if we had to be unhappy for a little while, that's okay. Our fighting is pretty much done. And of course, Andahuaylas is going to burn to the ground this turn. So, I mean, that right there is what? Going to be another 4 happiness, I think. So, yeah, we're good to go. Even if it had been unhappiness, we had done all of our fighting this turn. Okay, let's see. Foreign Legion, how far can you reach? Nice. Protect that worker. I like it. Continue on with the rail. This caravan was feeding Shanghai. 19-4. Yep, I agree with that. In fact, it was just last turn or something I was asking about that, if I remember correctly. Okay, continue with the rail. This guy's working on that. This guy is going to work on this rail. We kind of have too many workers in that area, I think. So let's see, 1, 2. This gets us a little more visibility, and still keeps us ripe for possibly capturing Fortaleza. This guy can start heading back, and that looks like everything. Yeah, the ivory we can try and do something with, of course. But other than that, that appears to be everything. Artillery, yeah, I agree with that. Don't know if I'll finish it, though. We'll probably want to spit out some archaeologists, get that tourism up. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, we went into unhappiness. Why would that be? Sure, we got plenty of copper. Alright, we gotta figure out where the unhappiness came from. Or maybe it'll flip back when our turn comes and the city burns down. I'm not sure on the timing of all that, but we can take a look here. Oh yeah, we're up to 5 now. Alright, so archaeology is finished. Let's address that first. Antiquity sites. Okay, we have one inside the borders of Nanjing, one inside the borders of Shanghai. That will not be in our borders. One in the border of Guangzhou. Oh. Well, that's weird. It says 8, but there's only 4. And I'm noticing some of them have the text in blue, and some are not. A source of antiquity site? That's just weird. Okay, so multiple, yeah. Let's stay on track with the artillery. Guangzhou is finished with the factory. 1 turn until castle. Let's just get that up. That's happiness, culture, money. But factory is finished, so let's go ahead and slot these guys in. We're looking at 3 and 1. And still 3 and 1, so that's okay. In fact, the city's already working all of its best growth tiles. Antiquity site there. So yeah, there's a number of antiquity sites within our sphere of influence. What we'll do is we'll spit some archaeologists out and probably go for artifacts. I'll look into the difference, like what if is it worth to have a site within our borders, like what does that mean? But I mean, we can go into places like this where nobody else will get it, dig it up, turning it into an artifact. Because I think the artifacts are going to be more pressing than sites, but I'll look into that. Bit some triple, double cover. That seems good considering he's within bombard range. In fact, we can move on to the citrus and plunder it to reduce his happiness, make him fight a little less effectively. Yeah. Fortunately, there's a cannon there, but we can like, oh, and then there's, yeah, so we can pillage, move, as our health needs. If we don't need the pillage, I'm not going to do it. The Inca stole navigation. I don't care. City connection established. That's fine. The Aztecs have adopted. Ooh, autocracy. All three ideologies are present now. Let's see how that's playing out on the world stage. Oh, now that sucks. They choose autocracy and immediately get saddled with 7 unhappiness as a result. Okay, that's fine. We're doing what we can to address that. Pedro has made peace with Valletta. Would that mean that we lost Valletta? Or no, I don't know. Did we have Valletta? Declared war on Pachacuti. Silk connected for Cape Town. Venice, now ally of Valletta. And there's that icon again. City is blockaded by an enemy unit. But they do have gold gifts are temporarily buffed. So I kind of want to get them back. But like I said, next turn maybe we get philanthropy. So I'll hold off on that one turn. In fact, once we have philanthropy, I'll just take a look at our money, city-state situation. Side on longs for culture. And losing grasp on Lhasa. Cape Town. Silk connected for Cape Town. Okay. And that's a city that is an ally of somebody else, so maybe that's something we tackle next turn. Alright. Aztecs have denounced the Inca. That's weird. Okay. On to biology. Looks like he wants iron. Let's address that. He does not have a unique luxury for us. I'm going to have to look into that more in the future, just using clumps of strategic resources to trade for. Yes, this is a good point. Let's go around to our raising cities and make sure we're selling stuff off. 30 and 2. Yeah, so 30 and 2. That's the highest GPT right now. Okay, we'll work research, I guess. Unfortunately, he will come up here because it looks like he wants to go to the horses. That way we're not getting in each other's way. They sure are slow, those prophets. Alright, we'll get this cleared up here. Zoom, zoom. Okay, he's the one that's building rail to Nanjing. He's going to finish that this turn. So that means he can come down and help with him with Nanjing, and then because we want to clump up our workers in the south. There's a lot going on here. There's uranium they can't even see. So yeah. So we'll get started on this, and then the other worker will finish this turn. He can come down. The two of them can do that and then move on. Or something. We'll figure it out. Alright, Foreign Legion. Let's get him into position so we can back up this guy here. Let's see. Alright, this guy will set up and hit Fortaleza. Nice. Not enough for us to take it. Probably not enough for him either. And that's okay. Alright, from here we can pillage, shoot, and then probably just stomp, right? Yep. Good. Good, good, good. Kind of want that Great General to stay there so that this Great General can come down here, right? Help protect that guy. Yeah, that seems like a must. So him defending in place seems good. Is this tile improved? Brazilwood Camp. Okay. So we'll pillage that and move on to here. And we would have removed that anyways because we're going to turn that into, you know, a mine or whatever it is that pulls up uranium. Okay, and we'll move this guy in here. So this means he should be able to attack him, pillage, and move off. do that. There we go. Oh! Why? Oh, because this... Okay, this Great Wall, this would count as 3 to move into, and then the pillage. Okay. That's fine, as long as I understand where it's coming from. Same thing here. Pillage. This should be 1, 2, and then 3. And this gets us unparalleled visibility. We can see everything that's coming towards Rio. And, yeah. So, let's take a look at our Great General Sphere of Influence. With this guy coming down here, I think it behooves us to go like that. Nice. Everybody seems to be covered. This is good. This is Foreign Legion. I think we got plenty of units around Rio. So I'm going to have this guy start heading towards Sao Paulo. In fact, let's do it like this. Oh dear. Okay. Well, that's good visibility to know. I'm guessing we're whittling down his military in such a way that Poland is getting more confident about attacking a city themselves. So it's good that we got these units here. We need to like start hugging Sao Paulo for that reason. Okay, great. This worker will get started on this. And he is a turn behind, but what that means is that when this worker is looking for a new project, we can finish that tile and he can zip and go from there. There's a bend in the road here, so I kind of want to tie into the existing road system from this tile, but we also need to put a mine up there, and since this has got jungle there, I think we would have to remove the jungle first. So it's probably going to work out that whichever worker is freed up first will get here and get started on that mine, and the other one can build a road around it. It's a little inefficient on the roads, but you know, who cares, right? Anyways, let's shoot at Rio. Wow, that's not much. Okay, plus 200%, plus near Great General, so I mean, that's pretty good. We could take this guy out, but there's no need to. We got ground troops there, so let's just soften. Oh, that city's falling pretty fast. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Well, we can come here for visibility. Oh, that's good to know. We'll have to have somebody intercept that. Oh, it looks like this guy is in line to do exactly that. Okay. So his job will be that. Now the caravan is here. If it's heading towards Salvador, it will end up here on the same turn. Otherwise, it'll be here. So we just got to keep an eye on that. If we take Rio before we intercept that caravan, we'll just lose it. So let's try and capture it. Alright, so these units are getting a full retreat. Doesn't matter which one of these goes first. He's closer to getting some goodies, so we'll just do it that way. He will actually finish his turn, so let's address that. Oh, only one person wants it. Well, that's unfortunate. We could have traded that for the silk. Okay. Okay. Nobody else wants it, and we are burning the city to the ground. However, Rio does have its own ivory. So, if we can lump sum somebody and burn T1 down and then capture Rio, that doesn't seem like a realistic timeline, though. It's going to take this, 5 more turns to burn down, and we'll have this before then. So, let's not play shenanigans with this ivory, I think is a good plan. Vilka, we already sold everything we could, so that's taken care of. And right now that is the only city we have raising. So we'll be able to capture Fortaleza next turn. Oh, and that's another reason to hold on to the ivory for now. We're going to need that happiness to buffer this. Okay, so I think we're doing pretty good. We just got to make sure we can hug Sao Paulo before Poland, fully claims it. Okay. Well, yeah, it's easy to say now when I've pretty much, destroyed them. Alright, they didn't do much damage to Fortaleza, but that might not be a problem. Oof. This might not be the turn to attack Fortaleza, because if we do, we'll weaken it to the point where Ragusa can capture it. So I'm going to just have this guy move here so that we prevent somebody else from moving there, and that way we can. We'll just use. Oh, look at that! There's the caravan. Good. We'll use this turn to put this artillery into Rio. Nice. Hey, look at this! A night great artist getting away. You wish. We'll go like that, and then we'll pillage, and we get another movement point. How would we use that? There, here we go. Pillage, move over. Don't know how important it is that we keep these guys protected with the Great General. Poland's providing softer targets, simply put. Alright, we can actually at least get the jump on them there. Alright, let's pillage here, move off, and move that in. Get another shot on it. Is this good enough? It's not. I'm actually surprised by that. Do these guys have different promotions? Not in a meaningful way. Foreign Legion? Not Foreign Legion. That's the difference. Okay. Hey, it worked. Okay. I like that. That allows this guy to start coming over here. I think we got enough units around Rio. This guy can go ahead and actively, because 1-2 capture doesn't take any movement. We move right back. Or maybe we move this way towards Fortaleza. Would that make sense? I don't think so. We could come down to Salvador, start pillaging things. Because once Rio falls, he no longer has the benefit of the Great Wall. We could take his sitches from him, his gems, stuff. I don't know. No sense moving him into bombard range. I'm just trying to decide about the Great General situation. I think I'm going to leave the Great General there. He does cover like this unit, but more importantly, he's influencing the artillery. So that's what's most important to me right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and move this. We'll just plunder that, and then bam. Alright. And this is the turn that we choose a policy. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention at the top of the series. Nanjing had asked for marble, and I started looking around the map, totally forgetting that we had marble and that it was coming back in 3 turns. I meant to mention that at the top of this part. So now Nanjing loves the king, and Cusco demands gems, which, great, we're about to conquer a city that has gems. Alright, so we're still working on Broadway here, which, you know, in retrospect was probably not the best decision. We could have been working on any military. There was no such thing as superfluous military. This goes that. We can start moving them down. Wow, that's a hell of a range. I love it. Love it. So we address that. Marble to Gandhi ended. That's fine. Genoa calls for faith. We'll probably get that. No longer friends with Manila. That's fine. Don't care. Rome has denounced Brazil. That also doesn't matter. Alright, so let us go ahead and take philanthropy here. We could take commerce, and I think commerce makes more wagon trains, and it's starting to make even more sense because we're getting more. First of all, we got rail instead of road, so saving on the maintenance would be great. We're putting down more roads, of course, and of course we're getting more trade routes. Well, we do have a nice stockpile of city. We have a nice collection of city-states. I don't know. It could go either way. You know what? I changed my mind. The more I thought about it, it's like, okay, if we have more gold, we could put more gold towards that, or we could put that gold towards other things. And since we have Great Big Ben and all that stuff, yeah, this makes more sense. Reduced by 50%. Nice. So right now we're looking at 326 per turn. Here we go. 356 per turn. So 9% increase. Not bad at all. We got some iron we can sell off here. Speaking of gold. Ooh, he's really hurting in the money department. We have a couple. We've got marble, which we could sell off lump sum. And we also have ivory. The ivory's going away, but we will be replacing it before it goes away. So that's not a bad trade. In fact, let's go into T1. I don't think I sold anything this turn. 25-1, 51, 31. Okay, so 50. Opera House this turn, Forge next turn. Okay, Vilka. We'll be getting out of here. And look at that, our happiness is looking really amazing. Alright, so let's start addressing city-states. Because I was holding off on Valletta specifically for philanthropy and then got talked out of it by myself. Okay, so we need 30 to overcome Venice here. 55,000 would be better. It's militaristic, it's Wales. We do not have Wales, but we also have other we could be looking at. We're going to win this, so we don't need to take this from the Iroquois. We don't need to take that. What do they got? Furs. We already got furs. We have ivory. And then the other one that's taken by somebody is peace blocked right now. Perhaps culture? That's Wales, but so what? It's culture. Let's do that. For sure. We'll do that for sure. That's culture. We probably should have done that sooner. That's on me. Okay. So yeah, let's take Valletta back. There's that. And we still have plenty of money we can take. Probably take the other two. I don't need to actively take this one. We'll get that from the Iroquois just by winning this competition. That's going to be in 14 turns. The food would be nice. We don't need the ivory. And they do decay slowly, so they're a good one to have. They decayed slower, so they'll be a good one to have. The faith. Yeah, we've wasted faith on profits. Speaking of which, what does the next profit cost, just out of curiosity? 1,700. That's kind of getting to the prohibitive side. You know, in retrospect, it's not even all that important. Like, if we had Buddhism in these cities, we'd be getting faith off of this, the desert tiles. So that might have actually been worth allowing it to stay that way. But the overall pressure, I don't know. Okay, so we can get in range here. That's excellent. We'll convert that next turn. And the city will be gone next turn. T1 will burn down a few turns after that. The profit on its way back will hit Cusco probably, just to make it a repeater for Taoism, which might be all we need to keep Machu from falling further. Or maybe not. We'll take a look at that. I would hate to have to visit Cusco and Machu. Anyways, I'm kind of distracting myself here. What are we doing as far as this goes? Let's see. Wellington has Wales. Manila has Wales. And they're all to the south. We would want Wellington and Manila come time to attack Rome. Antwerp as well, but we can't get to them just yet. They've got a lot of rep with Brazil, so Antwerp might be right out, but Wellington and Manila would be useful. Wellington more so. Manila still holding on to Taoism. Alright. So I think the money situation is pretty much settled for now. There's no city-state that's particularly pressing. The food would be nice. And the Iroquois are our true enemy, but we're not going to be able to do anything about it. So let's do this to piss them off. How much do we need? 36. Okay, so we got to do the full 1,000. Alright, there we go. Alright, now I'm satisfied with all of that. Apologize for the delay. Good deal here. Okay, well, we are at the half-hour mark, and I've got a phone call I got to take, so I'll see you guys later. Sorry for the abrupt ending.